All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second session of The Stars in Your Eyes. We're playing Scum and Villainy, and we have four intrepid starfarers here who have recently rescued their loved ones or important people for them from Isotropa Max Secure, and are currently trying to head out into the galaxy, but were waylaid by space pirates last time. So we'll go around just real quick to remind everybody of our characters. If you just want to give us kind of a couple sentences, I think, each about your characters, and then also remind us your name and your pronouns as well. I'm Rye. I'm the GM. I use he, him pronouns. So, Terry?
Okay. I'm Terry. I'm playing Headliner, and also Damien goes by, that's my alias, real name Damien Tigrum. I am a mystic, and I am fairly new to the way, and I've rescued a person who reached out to me through the way.
Great. All right. Richard?
Hi, I'm playing Candyman, the pilot of this little jaunt. I am he, him, and my character's name is Yorick Mill, and pretty much everybody's going to rely on me to do the next thing, I suspect, in our fight with pirates.
All right. Great. Brian?
Playing Ro. She is the Stitch, and she comes from a family of clones that deal in shady medical services.
All right. Stephen?
Hey there, I'm Steven playing Cardigan, they them, a robot who has a bit of a acting streak, wears lots of cardigans and generally masks to express their mood.
All right.
Kind of has an anxious worry mask on right now, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
Great. All right. So last time we went into Isotropa Max Secure, you had some tense negotiations with your contact there, Major Drillian, which ended in someone, Ro, I think, injecting Major Drillian with something in his neck and threatening that if they weren't let go with everyone right then, he would not know the correct order to inject 3 more syringes. And I believe, Brian, you had not yet sent that information to Major Drillian, or had you sent that?
Or did you send like, haha, it was saline, dummy, haha?
Well, I don't think they're all saline. At least one of them will. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I suppose one of them probably would just knock him unconscious, and then another one of them would probably get him really high. And then one of them probably won't do much.
So I guess the question is, did you send him the information and he got high?
I think once we're back aboard the ship, I gave him an honest rundown of like, yeah, don't throw that one away. It's not going to do you any good. You're welcome for, the blue one. That one's a good time. I recommend it.
Okay. All right. So you have sent that information. Excellent. Okay. Great. So you guys made your escape. Susan, the glide guide, had put you back on your ship. You'd all had a few moments to connect with the folks that you had rescued, and you had the engines turned on full blast, and you were making your getaway. Several incoming mortar rounds came in. Candyman did some quick thinking with the communications devices and redirected them, but you all have recently been kind of jostled about rather roughly by his evasive maneuvers, and Candyman, what exactly do you say over the loudspeaker to everyone as you're making these maneuvers?
Okay, I'll flick it onto the loudspeaker and say, "Pirates! Someone talk to them!" And then I'll go off into another corkscrew.
All right, so there is a request to talk to the pirates, who had phoned in briefly and requested that you shut your engines off and allow them to board. So I guess Headliner, Cardigan, and Roe, which one of you usually kind of deals with communications on the ship, since that's obviously not Candyman's strong point here? Or negotiations, I guess. Which one of you do you think?
Greetings, pirates. You should disengage before we activate our shipboard weapons to annihilate you. Have a nice day.
Okay, great. So with that, we'll just complicate things here for everyone. Yes.
Cardigan, you know we don't have any weapons, right?
That's all right. It takes people time to learn how to lie, Headliner.
So you're getting these communication is going back and forth.
I did not want them to have a nice day.
All right. You're getting this chatter kind of going back over your lapel pins. Cardigan.
Can I start scanning for a bolt hole?
What's that?
Is there a gate? Can I start looking for a bolt hole of some form, a gate, somewhere to run? Something to hide, an asteroid field, anything that's going to shake them off our tail? Because space is empty and big.
You most certainly can. Let me just tell you a few things about the ship here and ask a couple questions, and then we can get to a roll on that. The ship doesn't have like what you would call a reliable reading on what ship it is, but I think you guys have been around enough and kind of not always been on the up and up, and so you recognize the symbol, the big gigantic kind of it's not like an earth creature, so I don't want to say like a lobster, but it's like a big scary looking crustacean-y thing with claws and a big stinger on its back that is scrawled across, kind of painted on the side of this. And you know that it's called the Manta, and this is a ship owned by Draxler, who is pirate Captain Draxler, a famous pirate in this area, and they generally capture ships and kind of strip them down and take people prisoners and sell them off. Yeah. Terry, Headliner, tell me about some of the tactics that Draxler uses to incapacitate other ships.
Well, in what I've heard is that they actually send crews out with axes and open up the hull and actually breach the hull and get rid of the crew that way, usually. You're muted, Red.
Yeah, so your space suits, rather, may become rather important very shortly. Great. Cardigan, when they do take captives, what does Draxler do with them?
Do you mean what does he do with the ones he eats or the ones he doesn't eat?
Doesn't eat, naturally. The ones he eats, everyone knows what he does with them.
Oh, I hear that he exports them to secret hegemony labor camps.
Great. And Candyman, tell me about a time that Draxler let you go, and what promise did you make, and did you keep it?
I promised him a great deal of money and a date with my sister.
And did you keep it?
I never saw him again.
Hey. What is your sister's name?
Oh, good question. Ophelia.
Ophelia. Great.
Mill.
All right. And Ro, what does Draxler love so much that she can almost always be bribed with it?
Shemayan sun wine.
Okay. And how many bottles of that do you have on board? You're tier 1, so is this like getting like Pabst and it's just hard to find, or is this like?
Well, we have a speaker if it's among our speaker's luxury items.
Fair enough.
Sure. Otherwise, yeah. No.
Okay. We'll have to come to that when we come to that. Cardigan can decide at that point there. Okay. Fantastic. Candyman, you wanted to look for a bolt hole or a way out. There is not a gate kind of immediately adjacent to the prison. You would have to kind of race a bit away to the outskirts of the system to get to the gate to Iota. There are, however, 3 other kind of planets circling the star Breck, Shemaya, Aketi, and Nightfall. So you could try to make it to one of those and head low, or you could look for, there's always talk among starship captains of secret way lines that they kind of entered, kind of like wormholes that have pulled them to other parts of the galaxy. So who knows? Maybe you know something about those. I'm not sure.
What about if we double back to the prison?
That's always an option.
Because my guess is the raiders may not want to go there. But then they might. I don't know.
Then they might.
Would that be the closest?
Yeah, definitely. That would be the closest.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm gonna. Hey, what are we gonna do, guys? We can try to make planetfall. We can run for the gate, or we can double back to the prison. I vote for the prison. We'll do a low-level run across them and see if we can lose them that way.
Well, we can always tell
Have you had
him if he wants us to complete that job, then he needs to take care of them for us.
Cardigan?
Have you had a sudden qualm of this thing called conscious that you always say you lack?
No. I've had a sudden qualm of this thing called fear that I am suddenly feeling in great abundance. I'm hearing planetfall. Is that what I'm hearing? Because I'm assuming they're a better ship than us. Would that be a fair call?
That's a fair call. It's much bigger and much better weapons.
It might not accelerate as quickly as us, but it probably has a higher speed than us in the long term.
Yeah. You can try to outrun them, though. You are a crack pilot.
Well, let's try to run for the gate.
Okay.
Anyone got any second thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm trying to just fill the radio, like the comms with chatter, like just rambling on. Like I'm trying to basically stall for time.
Okay. You're talking to the pirates.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like I'm kind of maybe trying for consort here. Like I'm trying to be amiable with them.
Okay. So what do you what do you we'll do? Let's see.
This sounds like just an assist to the pilot, maybe.
Or I think maybe a setup to try to give them a better position.
Okay. Great. Let's do. Remind me how setup works again. You roll first, and then they get a bonus.
Yeah, either their position or their effect gets increased.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to use a consort.
Yeah. And I do mention this wonderful sun wine I have with me.
Okay. Great.
I would hate to ruin it before you had the chance to eat any of my crew members.
So there's a moment's pause on the other end, and you hear, how many bottles?
Oh, just one, but I was saving it for you.
Well, if you stop like we asked you to, we promise not to shoot anyone right when we come on board.
That's a big promise.
All right, let me just try to communicate that with my pilot.
You're breaking up a little bit here. Look, I mean, just one bottle of sun wine, we can just take that from you once we've broken a hole in your hull and ripped all the rest of you out of there. That's fine.
Very fragile bottle.
Hold on, let me ask. Okay, why don't you give me a roll?
What's position and effect here?
I think this is risky and limited. Oh.
Where is? Okay, that's a 4.
4. All right, so the comm comes back on, and he says, "Look, we just need you guys to stop. We don't really want to rip a hole in your ship, but we will if we have to. You're going to have to send me over a picture of that sun wine, though. I mean, it's easy to say you got sun wine, but that stuff is hard to come by. We had to travel 15 parsecs out of our way last time to get some of that."
Very well, but I got a new phone.
Okay. So while you're
still figuring out how it works.
While you're trying to figure that out, Candyman, you're trying to make a run for it here.
I am.
I'm not actually trying to figure it out. It's just me. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be a helm.
Helm, yes.
Which you have 2 in, and this would be a speed-related roll. So that will give you 1 extra die to start with, so you'll be at 3. Do you want to spend any stress for an additional one? Or I would say that since this is a bigger ship, you're probably going to start out probably at a risky limited. So it's going to probably set up.
Although I did give them better position, so it's controlled limited.
Okay, so it'd be controlled limited. So yeah, you probably won't have horrible consequences come, but it's going to be pretty hard for you to kind of get away in this situation.
Although you could because you can't trade position for effect, you could fly more riskily, push the engines to their limit and make it risky standard, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That sounds like a very fine plan. Yeah. Risky, standard, and I will burn some stress because I'm really feeling that.
Okay, great. So Mark 2 stress.
Mark 2 stress. All right, and I'll start that again. So risky, standard, and submits, and bonus dice 2. 2.
2. Yeah, sorry, it's muted.
And somewhere that vanished off into chat.
Well, you
You
got
got
a
a 6.
3, 2, a 6, and a 3. Okay. So you've bumped this up to standard. So first, just tell me, what is it you're doing that's going to make this flying risky as you zoom towards the gate?
Okay, I guess the main problem we have is as it becomes very apparent where we're going, which it will pretty quickly, it narrows where they have to aim in terms of shooting us out of the sky. So it's kind of like being in a cone, and we're heading towards the pointy end of a cone, and they're at the wide end. So I'm basically trying to spiral around the outside edge of that cone. Before being able to make a dart into the gate at the end. So I'm trying to. There'll be a nasty angled curve at the end, which will hopefully take us through the gate without actually smacking into it.
Okay. Great. So you definitely are going to beat them to the gate, no problem. I want to learn a little bit more about these gates, though. Brian, I think the hegemony controls the gates. So what are there codes that you guys have? Where have you gotten these from? Are they current? And yeah, where did you guys get your codes for to use the gate?
Let's see. I guess we would have gotten them from our contact, Jesri. They're a fixer, so
Okay.
they probably supply those kind of things for us.
Fantastic.
So what's the chance of there being hegemony ships here?
Fairly good. Fairly good.
The gates are probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so if we get close enough to the gate, would that be enough to inconvenience Drexler?
Sure thing. Yeah. And you're definitely going to make it there beforehand with the 6 that you rolled. So
okay. Well, let's bump well and truly into the queue then.
That's what we're going to have to find out here is how good your codes are to get through here. Headliner. When you the last time you came through using these codes, there was a small complication. What was it?
They took some extra time scanning us.
Great.
They had us delay.
Perfect. And Cardigan, what was the end result of their scan? What did they say to you guys as you went through last time?
Well, that we had the I'm thinking that we had codes belonging to a ship marked as scuttled or destroyed.
Okay. Great. Candyman, what did you? how did you talk them out of it last time? What did you promise to do to remedy that situation? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, no, look, I promised that we'd file the revised paperwork to because the scuttle thing was actually an error. It should have meant repainted. But the things are right next to each other in the list.
As a synthetic organism incapable of lying, I can affirm this.
So
here we go. Okay, so you're zipping up to the gate, and
I'm going to flick on the comms.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have a name.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, he's gone. Do we have a name for our ship? Whilst he's coming
Nah.
back? Nah.
Or I mean, no, we don't have a name yet.
Other than
Anybody?
the default, the Cerberus.
Yeah.
Ah. Does anybody want a good? Anybody got a good name? I always like Ian Banks naming schemes for ships, but having said that, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh,
What was that?
Headliner, you have a name?
taking a look. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'll just we'll just go with the Cerberus for now, and if you guys think of one, throw it in the chat or let me know.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's the one that's definitely on the form.
Yeah, the Cerberus. Yeah. Okay, so the comms come over and it says, Cerberus R29 Firebrand type. Please identify yourself and let us know your passcodes if you are desiring to enter the gate. Otherwise, please reduce speed and alter your course.
Okay. Right. I'll flick it back on. In fact, I'll just. This is a Cerberus inbound to the gate. We have a raider ship on our tail. We request emergency transport through, and I'll flick them through our codes.
Okay. Please give me a. I think for your previous lie, to see if it was put into the notes. Let's see. Just give me a fortune roll, and with sway.
It's down the bottom of the sheet. Fortune roll. There we go. No modifiers.
I don't think so.
Radio. Notes. No notes. 5 and a 1. Okay.
So the codes come through, and the comms guy says, "We see there's a red flag here marked on your codes from a week ago. Have you managed to get that remedied yet? Otherwise, I'm going to have to decline this and have you come into dock here so we can go through check the VIN numbers here."
That's a negative on that. We've been delivering prisoners to the Centaur Max prison there, and we haven't had a chance to register our papers yet. We will do so as soon as we get back into whatever our next goal is. As soon as we get through the gate.
Okay, roger that. And what's up with this pirate ship you got following you there? What are they interested in?
They want a spaceship, they said. So if you've got any help, we'd be way, way pleased.
All right.
Is there a bounty on them? Drexler's Raiders. There may be money.
Roger that. Give me a second here. Please enter the queue. There's 2 ships ahead of you here to get through, but they're moving pretty quickly. Shouldn't be more than a moment or 2. So he turns off the comms. On your screens there, you see Drexler's Raiders are kind of pulling back a little bit as they approach the gate, and there's a little bit of you can kind of get from your comms that there's some communication going back and forth from them to the gate as well, but you can't. It's encrypted, so you can't exactly tell what they're saying. I'm going to take just a second here. Ro, you and your brother are sitting in the med bay here, and kind of you were holding on for a minute there, kind of had your conversation interrupted. You see a shadow kind of move behind. Looks like someone's about to come in through the door, and you can see in the shadow's hand they are carrying looks like some sort of laser pistol. What do you do?
Interesting. I will. Let's see how much. I guess I will pull out a blaster pistol and a second blaster pistol and hand that to my brother.
All right. Mark those off on your gear.
Yeah. And just say, I think someone's gotten aboard.
Okay. Just then, a figure steps around as you're handing the pistol to them and kind of levels a blaster pistol at you. I think yours is probably up as well. And they looked a little bit surprised and taken back by that. It's a young woman in a jumpsuit. Looks like one of the prisoners from Isotropa Max Secure. And she's got a big kind of scorpion clawed like this half crab, half scorpion tattooed on the side of her face. She's like, put the gun down. Or, fuck.
Okay. I'm picking up that they're one of Draxler's raiders who was imprisoned.
For sure.
I guess it's safe to say my character puts that together as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking to negotiate passage, a safe passage back to your crew, I take it.
Yeah, kind of something like that. Why don't you just set down the gun and I don't have to shoot both of you? Smiles, kind of a smile.
How about we all lower our weapons? And I don't think my crew is necessarily opposed to getting you back to your friends. I think you're definitely not going to endear yourself to them by shooting anyone.
Yeah. I'd be happy to do that. Just tell your pilot to turn around.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. And yeah, I guess I'll open comms to the bridge.
Okay. What do you say to Candyman?
Hey, looks like we picked up a passenger. I think that's why the Drexlers are interested in us. I think maybe if we return her to her friends, their interest in us goes away. It seems like we can all get what we want here.
Have they negotiated board and passage yet?
No. Discussions have only just begun.
Let's see. Ro, tell me what your communicators are like. Can this other person, this woman standing there, hear Cardigan, or is it like an earpiece, or what is it like? Is it like Star Trek where you can kind of hear?
Yeah, I think they could probably hear.
Okay. And then I think she says, well, I'm considering as board and passage not killing your two doctors down here. That should be sufficient, right?
Oh, there's a long, long pause from Cardigan's end.
Can someone talk us out with the pirates? We're there's one more ship in front of us, and then we're off.
And I think, Cardigan, you get a long look from, is it Maud? No. Sorry, I tried to learn all the NPCs here by name, but Manda. Manda kind of is staring at you as you take a long moment to respond to this.
I am sorry, I was just formulating a response. Yes, I think that we should keep Ra and her brother alive.
Lost Terry. Good. I'm glad you've come to that decision. So, yeah, if anyone wants to turn the ship around, that'd be great. Candyman, are you going to turn the ship around? The gate is opening in front of you.
SteamYard must be having some issues tonight.
Yeah. It bumped me off a little bit ago, too.
Perhaps our mystic could go and speak with her and perhaps escort her to the exit.
All right.
Where's Drexler's ship in the queue behind us?
It is kind of stalled back a ways, but you can see that continued communication is kind of flowing back and forth between.
Can someone ping Drexler and say that we have an issue here, and what do they want us to do?
Oh.
Oh.
Sure. I can if we're all aware of this, I can do it.
Yeah, you're
listening.
Know
if we're all on comms.
Yeah, I think you're all on comms. How are you going to do that, Headliner? Are you going to reach out with the way and try to talk to them directly?
No, I don't really. I don't know if I know anyone over there. I can try.
Okay. Yeah, or you're happy to use just the ship's comms too, if you want to just do it that way.
Well, I was gonna let them know that we don't have a lot of time. I would like to pick up their person next in line.
Okay. You get the same chap on the phone as before, and he says, "Please, yeah, just turn around, come back. We promise not to poke any more holes in your ship, and you can even keep the wine. That would be fantastic. Just turn around."
Well, guys, we're next in the queue.
What was that, Terry?
I said we really don't want to lose our spot in the queue, though.
We hear that, but there's always, you just get back in line. No big deal. I mean, the hegemony might get their feathers ruffled a little bit pulling out, but I'm sure we can make it good to them.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll, if you can give us some other codes that we might be able to use sometime. That should make us even.
Okay.
And valid codes, of course.
So you want to test if it's valid.
And we'll hop on a line.
Yeah, there is only one way to test if they're valid. Terry, go ahead and have Headliner roll for me. I guess this kind of feels like a consort to me. Do you want to add another dice by stress, or you've got one in it right now? You guys also have one gambit, I should mention as well.
Oh, we have a gambit.
Or do you want to just try to roll consort straight out?
Well, wouldn't I still have to put in whether I'm controlled, risky, or desperate?
Oh, right. Yeah, this is a risky, I think. Yeah, this will be risky and standard.
Standard?
Yeah.
Can I change the position
You can.
to desperate for a better outcome?
Sure. Yeah, you definitely can. Tell me what it is you're going to do that's going to make it go from kind of risky to desperate here.
Well, I'm gonna basically tell our pilot to get out of line, and when they start asking us about why we're getting out of line, I'm just gonna cut off the comms and just before that, I'll say we just have to go talk to someone.
All right. Go ahead and roll then for me. And this will be desperate, so mark a mark and resolve there. What's that?
One die extra, right?
If you're gonna spend 2 stress, yeah.
Stress. Oh.
3 and a 5.
So I got a 5.
Also, mark an XP to resolve for rolling desperate.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so the chap on the other line says, yeah, we'd be happy to provide you some new codes to get through the gate. We've gotten some in very recently that have been working just great for us, and if we have a couple extra here that came from the same source, we're pretty sure they're reliable. Go ahead and bring your ship on back over here, and we'll be happy to trade for that. So you've got the okay here. Candyman, are you going to turn around?
Okay, I'm just going to signal hegemony. Tell them we're having trouble flushing our jump drive coils, and we're going to have to drop out of the queue for a moment or two. Apologies for inconvenience, etc. And I'll drop us out of a queue. But I'm not gonna. But I'm gonna stay in the general hegemony sphere here, in case things turn into a axe wielding kind of event.
Okay. On your dashboard there, you see as you kind of pull back a little bit farther, but not all the way back to their ship, you see 2 smaller craft leave the larger manta and head in your direction. They fly across the space pretty quickly, and one of them pulls up next to you, and the comms come on and says, please provide us the codes to access your airlock, and we will make the transfer. Ro, are you going to walk down to the airlock with this person?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Did you put your guns down, or are you both still pointing guns at each other?
Has she put her gun down?
She lowered it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just matching whatever, de-escalating as much as she does. Yeah.
Okay. So
Can I suggest everybody goes down and meets them at the airlock? Lest there be a a moment where numbers count.
fair enough. Is everyone else going to head down there? Cardigan, does Manda come with you? Or does Manda stay here in the room?
I mean, Manda, in case you forgot, is still bound arms and legs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Forgot that part.
You just hop down behind me.
Yeah. Okay, so Manda will stay there. Headliner is Marie. Where is it? Maria Forte. Is she coming with you or staying in the room? Oh, Terry's frozen up there a little bit. All right, we'll come back to Terry. I think you're on mute. Now you're off mute. Is Maria Forte going to come with you down to the airlock, or is she going to stay in the room?
No, she's going to stay in the room.
Okay, great. And I think May, is it Mav or Maeve, Candyman?
It's Mav.
Mav. Okay, Mav. Okay, we probably don't know where Mav is at this point.
There's no telling her what she's going to do. She's completely incomprehensible.
Okay, she's somewhere on the ship. Okay, all right. So you all arrive down at the airlock. The door kind of slides open. On the other side of it is a crew of 6 pirates. They're all well armed. Standing at the front is someone you kind of know probably by reputation, is known as Starhawk. This is kind of Draxler's second in command here. She's a tall black woman with a couple of dreadlocks on one side and shaved on the other side. Some body armor that's definitely been through a couple of things. It's got a couple blast marks here and there. Looks like a tough character. And she's carrying kind of a shot off, or not a sawed off shotgun, but like a shotgunny looking blaster pistol that looks like it could probably put a fairly large hole through anything that it hits. And she looks at you, Candyman, and she says, "So, Candyman."
Hey, Starhawk.
Yeah,
Nice seeing.
Yeah, nice seeing. Last I remember, we were when Draxler was promised a little bit of time with someone that he never got.
I've been busy.
Busy? Oh, that's an excuse, isn't it? That's
I've got a career,
Career? You call this ship a career? This is like the end of a sad life, is what I'm seeing here.
It's a new enterprise. It's got promise. Legs. That's what it's got. Legs.
Legs?
Yeah.
Legs
anyway,
help.
I want to make it straight with I'll make it straight with Drexler. I'll talk to my sister. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be fine, Candyman. I want it to be fine, but people don't make promises to Drexler and then just say they got a career and everything's okay.
It's professional courtesy. That's all I'm asking for.
She kind of looks at all of you and just can barely keep a straight face, like when you say the word professional. Anyway, this is Seville. Get over here. What? And the young woman with the blaster pistol kind of waves a little goodbye to you, Ro, and walks backwards to join her folks. So yeah, we're willing, I think, to let you all go with your ship intact. I mean, the only problem here is that Candyman owes us a debt, and we need that solved before we can pass you those codes.
We broke your girl out of a jail there.
You broke our girl out of a jail. Major Drillian made sure she was safely on board your ship before you all left.
Well, that's your interpretation of it, and that's only because you're trying to get the benefit out of this. Point is, we put the hard work into it.
I can call the man right now if he isn't all hopped up on whatever you guys gave him. He was a little goofy 10 minutes ago when I talked to him.
Well, that was our experience with the man as well. I don't know why you trust him. But the point is, we got her out. I think we should be even.
All right. Why don't you give me a roll?
A sway roll?
I think this is desperate.
Yeah, desperate sway roll.
As a synthetic being incapable of lying, I promise you that I will get you this, that we will make certain to repay you soon.
Effect is...
I'm marking the stress to give you an extra die.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Limited or standard?
Limited.
Limited.
You can spend 2 stress if you want to bump it up to standard.
Well, the question here is what happens when you run out of stress? You then go into trauma, don't you?
Yeah, you're kind of out for a while.
I wonder what the chances are of there being a relaxing moment after this. Yeah, look, I think I live on the stressful end of life. I'll spend those 2 points of stress.
Excellent, excellent.
So what was it? Desperate, limited, submit that, and it's 2 dice, and we will submit that. Ooh, a 4, 2, and a 5.
4, 2, and a 5. Okay. So mark an XP on your resolve.
Yep.
Oh, and I should please remind me if you guys ever want a devil's bargain for an extra dice. I sometimes forget about those. Starhawk kind of squints at you. Says, well, you did bring Seville back to us, but, you know, we would have found you all eventually anyway. I think we're going to give you a week, Candyman. You deliver the sweets, talk to your sister. Drexler would like to know when that is. You got a week.
You've got my word.
Oh, don't give me your
It's my
word.
bond.
Don't worry, we'll find you.
All right.
And tell Mav that, you know, we miss her from the old days, but we're glad she's with you instead of with us. Good luck with that. All right, they close the airlock and let you guys go. And their ship flies away. Where are you all going to go? Headliner, do you have a
Does
place?
this mean that Mav is officially our crew member now?
hope
I say
not.
to the rest of the group.
Well, we'll discuss that on the other side of the gate. Until then, I think we should give ourselves a slight break from this system and find a place to rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you all, we'll say that you head through the gate with the new codes, no trouble. Let's take a 10-minute break and think about a little bit what it is, where it is you probably go. Just a couple ideas, and then we'll come back as a group and discuss where you might head. You were headed to the purple one, but I don't know what the purple one is. So if you all want to try to figure out some ideas of what the purple one is, we'll come back in 10 minutes and figure that out.
What was the purple one? Okay.
I think
We do not know.
Oh, no, that's
Cardigan
right, the
has
purple
drawn
one.
some
Yes.
purple, has color coded the star map because you do not actually know any of the names of the planets in this part of the sector we live in.
Anyway, that was minutes ago. A lot of water has flowed under the bridge as that decision was made.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys shortly.
Okay.
So they don't really set any planet names or anything in for the sectors. We get to basically make them up.
Oh, there are some planets in the sector. Like we were over in the Breck system.
Yeah.
But there's also so we're heading over presumably to Iota, which is
I thought we were in Iota.
Were we? I could have sworn we were in Breck, but maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong.
We were in Breck. Isotropic Max Secure is in Breck.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So we would be heading for Iota if we go through the gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space dragons? I think there's a space dragon in one of the
Yes. This is just Cardigans helping with of piloting the ship.
Yes, there's
Want to
stories
make certain that we don't like try to land on the sun of Breck again.
in the Iota system. There's a belt of fire where they say there is an old dragon, a vast space creature. So who knows? I think the important thing is where is there another job? Because we've got repairs needed for the ship. There's going to be upkeep to pay for. We're going to be broke.
I think there's
I think
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to also need to talk to our passengers and see if there's somewhere they need to take them.
You're breaking up for that, so I don't know what you're. I couldn't make out what that was. Sorry.
Oh. Sorry. That's weird. Let me just double check my. Yeah, my connection's fine. All right. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying we need to discuss with our passengers as well if they're planning on staying on our ship.
Okay. You guys enter the gate. Headliner, what does it feel like to get shot through one of these gates? Do you notice it? Is it instantaneous? Does your face stretch and get all weird? What happens when you go through these gates?
I think that there's a when you first initially enter it, there's a complete pause until the full form of whatever it is actually in there, and then you shoot through like a starry tube for a little bit, and it's kind of like a black void though, like there's nothing. So it takes some time, but it seems like a nothing feeling around you, and then you pop out.
Is it enough time to have a conversation, or is it 10, 20 seconds feelings worth of time?
Probably about 30 seconds.
Okay. So you couldn't like really get anything done while you were in here. Okay. So it's quick. All right. You and I assume the same thing happens on the other end. Kind of part of it comes out. It's frozen until the whole thing comes out.
Yeah.
So you come out into the Iota system. There you find a number of small planets. orbiting the star. There's Lithios, Indri, and I'm going to mispronounce this one, Amarath. There's also, in the system, a number of shipyards that are floating around. There's the Belt of Fire, which is was just mentioned, which is a superheated plasma current, where it's currently under quarantine by the hegemony. There's rumors of a dragon in there. The three kind of planets here, there's one that's kind of a jungle planet, one that's an ice planet, and one that's like a technological kind of wasteland planet with acid rain and super nasty.
It's like the industry world.
Yeah, it's kind of like Blade Runner looking, in my mind. I don't know. But yeah, industry world, yes. Do you each want to have a small scene before we decide where to go, or do you want to pick a spot to go and kind of jump straight into downtime? What do folks want to do here?
I think I'd like to have a scene with the passengers.
Okay.
To see what their plans are, myself.
Okay. Great. Then why don't we start with you, Terry? You make it back to your room. You see Maria kind of sitting on the edge of the bed, and she stands up quickly as you come in. And she says, "Oh, that was a weird feeling. Did everything go okay?"
Yeah, as well as to be expected. Pirates are, tricky sometimes. Honestly, it went better than it could have.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know what your experience is with pirates.
Not much. I've spent a lot of my life kind of leading a normal life until it was hijacked by the military, and then I was in that prison. So, where are we going? What's our next steps?
Well, we're heading to the IOTA system, and then, well, that's up to you. What you would like to do?
Well,
you're.
I don't have any family. To go back to. I think it would be too dangerous. They'll be being watched. But I think there's maybe someone on Lithios that could help me. There was a scientist who used to work with me who was very kind and was trying to figure out a way to free me before I was imprisoned for what I did. So that would be my preference.
All right. Well, I could make contact with them for you.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
If my crew's okay with that, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I can wait here, I guess, while you go talk to them.
Right.
Cardigan. Manda is still in their shackles when you get back to their room. Is there anything you want to say to them, or maybe do you know of a place where they might be able to get their cuffs taken off, or do you want to take a crack at that or something?
I believe that we might have some acquaintances among the criminal cohorts of the Procyon sector that may have some experience with removing such constraints. Miss Mondo?
Yeah. Well, obviously.
I called her.
Well, obviously, child, I would appreciate having these off. I'm a little bit worried for you that you have been spending your time with these type of people. The fact
they're preferable to the hegemony.
Well, I can't say that I disagree with after my latest treatment, but I mean, really, Cardigan, I guess I just had always hoped you would kind of prove them wrong and not go into a life of crime or something, but would make such a thing from yourself that they couldn't, shut your kind away anymore. But I guess I can't judge. It's must have been hard for you out here, being so unique. It seems you have found good people here on the ship.
Of course. Where is it that you plan to go from here?
Honestly, Cardigan, I don't know. I think it's probably dangerous for me to contact any of my old colleagues. I'm sure the hegemony is keep an eye on them, but you've been out here longer in the Procreon sector than I have. Is there a safe place that you usually hole up?
Huh. Yes, there is a organization, the I know it's someone we know as a crew a bit. Forgetting their names though.
There's the Bornica Syndicate that you owe for the engines.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the. Oh, okay, I guess. No, yeah, the Mendicants is who I was thinking of.
Mendicants, okay.
They are a group that may always have need of someone with scientific knowledge and may be willing to offer some safety and protection. They are not any friends of the hegemony themselves.
That sounds like a great idea. Where do you know where they are located?
So how public is this? Like, would I know that they are out in Amaranth?
I think they probably keep a little bit more on the download just because they're
right.
They're politically not in favor, right? So
yeah.
I think it's probably not like they don't have signs out or something, but
right.
Yeah. But I would say Cardigan probably might know that if you want them to.
I know that they have.
You do get it's one of the things of Amaranth is you get +1D when you recover in the Mendicant's care, and they are open to all the request aid. So it must be at least somewhat kind of known.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do know that they maintain a temple on the world of Amaranth.
Well, then we should go there, I think. All right. Ro, let's go to you next. Did Raven go with you down there with the gun to the airlock? Yeah. So maybe the others just leave and you two are kind of left standing there. Remind me real quick, Brian, what was Raven's task out here? What were they trying to accomplish?
The family is looking to maybe expand our business or move our business out here, get away from the controls and the hegemony, get out someplace where it's a little more free to operate. So he was our initial scout for the sector.
Okay. So he's probably pretty familiar with Indri, since it's such a production-oriented planet.
Sure.
Probably in this sector, I think would probably make the most sense. And what's the family business is what again?
Shady medical services. So
shape-changing medical services. All right. Right.
So, I mean, in that case,
so you would be well liked, I think, on Indri. You would be Yeah, you could probably make a lot of that money. Okay. So Raven turns to you and is like, I gotta tell you, bro, it's wild out here. I mean, I was not expecting when I got to Indri that, I was hoping there'd be a guild or something we could join and some sort of rules to protect getting started, but I lost most of the money the family sent me with. I don't really have much left. Just got, made the wrong contacts first, and they kind of promised me certain things and getting me set up, and stuff never arrived. But I don't know, maybe if I have help this time with you or this crew here, we can actually get something started. What do you think? Or should we just give up?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity in this sector. It's just, I think maybe you rushed things a little too much. We need to gather info. We have a lot to learn first, and then, well, that'll come later. And when the whole family arrives, we'll be backing each other up.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to face them. They put a lot of trust in me, and I was the golden child for a while. I mean, you've always been okay with getting in trouble and messing up, it seems like, but I don't know. Looking Dad in the eyes is going to be hard.
It's just going to be glad you're coming back. We didn't get lost out here.
So what do you think? Should we try to get back to Indri, or do you want to stick with this lot for a while?
I mean, this lot's not a bad way to move around and see a lot more of the ins and outs of the sector.
That's a good point. All right, well, you can have this back. And he hands you back the blaster. They make me nervous.
Glad we didn't have to use it, but
yeah,
it's important to have it when you need one.
All right, Candyman. Where's your sister, Ophelia? Where does she reside?
Now that is a really great question, and I'm so pleased you asked me that. I haven't actually seen her in a little while, so it's a big statement. And we didn't exactly part on the best of circumstances. After that little loan incident, that families. You borrow money off them on the assumption that you'll never need to repay it, but suddenly everybody's very in your face. So, no, not the slightest idea, but I was planning on heading to Indri because it's purple. And that's where I'll drop Mav off, but I haven't told her that.
Okay. Well, you're setting your nav to take you to Indri. And Mav sticks her head in, and she's like,
"Hey, Mav.
You promised Draxler a date with your sister?
Hey, you don't know where she is, do you?
You don't even know where she is?
Well,
what the hell is wrong with you? You know your sister? She's never going to go on a date with Draxler? You owe her more money than you owe me, you
family. They help you out.
Yeah, we called each other family for a while. Remember that?
Yeah, I helped you out. I got you out of jail.
14 days before my sentence was up. Now
exactly. I nearly didn't. But no, I got you out.
Oh,
but you don't know where she is, though, do you? Just seriously.
Seriously, I don't think I'd tell you if I did, the poor girl.
You don't have to know what she was doing recently, do you? I always picked her, always picked her for either she was going to run something or settle down and get married. But, you know, it's been a little while since I talked to her last.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's...
You don't remember what she looks like, do you?
Yeah, no, I do. She has tattoos like me.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly where she is. But I don't think I'm going to tell you.
Hey, anyway, we're going to Indri. Do you need to drop off?
Oh, hell no, you're not dropping me off in that piece of... Oh, ugh. I hate Indri. You can't even go outside there.
Yeah, but there's that great bar.
That bar, you have to wear a gas mask and drink your drinks through a chemical straw.
Yeah, but, you know, it's got atmosphere.
That's all you can say about Indri is it's got atmosphere. The atmosphere will burn your lungs from the outside inside out.
Come on, we had good times in Indri. And, you know, I saw my sister there, you know, 5-6 years ago.
Well, she's not there now, I'll tell you that much.
Look, where do you want to go then? If I drop you off somewhere else, can you tell me where my sister is?
No, I can't. Just take me to Indri. I'll make my own way from there. Can't.
Well, you're welcome.
She walks out. Excellent. Okay. So it sounds like 2 Indris, Amarath, and Alithios. Why don't we have? It's going to take you a few hours to get anywhere. So why don't we have you all kind of meet up in the what is it called? The place where you eat,
the galley.
The galley. Thank you. In the galley, real quick, and see if you can, if you all want to work that out.
Yep.
Candyman, I think you walk in and find Ro and Raven making their food there.
Hey, what's cooking? I say, coming over to look.
Stir fry.
Stir fry. Stir fry what? Protein bars?
Little some of everything.
So, where do you want to go? I've typed in it. I promised Mav would drop her in Indri.
It kind of makes sense. We need to get repairs to the ship. That might be the best place for that in the system.
Yeah, that too.
Great. Headliner, you walk in. You overhear them talking about going to Indri. What do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I agree. We need to get the ship repaired, and Lithios definitely wouldn't offer anything like that. But once we're done getting the ship repaired, Maria, I'd like to go to Lithios if that's possible. So I need to touch base with the scientists there. Maybe I can find some planet-to-planet communications while we're getting the ship repaired. Still there.
Anyone know where we can get work?
You were standing right there when the Ashen Knives Pasha did offer us work, Candyman.
Who was I?
You nodded and said, "We'll think about it."
Right. Then let's do that. All right. Okay, I'll go over and raid the cupboard.
Cardigan could really have just said anything right there.
Thanks, Cardigan. Well, that took it in a whole way I was not expecting, but we'll get there. All right. So it sounds like we're going to Indri initially.
Yep.
I mean, they do like us, don't they?
Yes and no. Do they?
I don't think you have a.
They don't not
Oh,
like
never
us.
mind. I thought they did like us.
They don't.
Sorry.
They don't like or dislike you. I don't think yet.
Never
Yeah.
mind then.
But we'll soon have an opinion on that. It sounds like.
They haven't met us yet.
Yes. Okay. So you fly into Indri. You come in through the gray clouds. You manage to locate a docking station. You can kind of see places on your ship where the rain kind of sizzles as it hits, and little. You can see clouds of just all sorts of smoke. Not all of it gray. Some of it kind of fluorescent-y colors as it comes out of the stacks, but it soon kind of mixes into a smog of brown. You dock your ship, and we'll start downtime here. So the way I've kind of run downtime before is I usually do, you each get 2 actions. I usually try to do like one scene for one of the actions and then just make the other one kind of mechanical, just to kind of move it along a little faster. Is that cool with folks, or do you want to really dig into all those actions? That's cool. All right, cool. All right, let me find my page here. So payoff and upkeep. So you're normally, if you had completed a job for someone, you would get paid for it. However, you did manage to rescue a lot of people, all of whom are very, very broke. So no funding right there. So on upkeep, however, ship parts wear out and there are fuel costs to repair. So we do your upkeep equals the system quality plus your crew quality divided by 4. Where's your ship at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 4. So that would be 1.5. And I think you round. Does it say down? Yeah. So you'd need to pay 1 cred on upkeep. Here, do you want to do that or delay?
Yeah, look, I think we pay.
Yeah. Okay. You have 2.
Anybody else got an opinion?
2 cred.
Yeah, I'm fine paying.
Okay.
I prefer pay.
Okay. All right. Take off your cred. All right. Your ship will not fall apart quite yet. All right. So heat. What do we got here? So was your basically what we do is we add heat to the systems where things happened, and that depends, Richard, on kind of what went down. I think that you probably earned between 2 heat is what I'm thinking. It was kind of contained in standard exposure. You pissed off the hegemon a bit and kind of raised your profile a little bit at the gate by jumping in line and saying it was an emergency and then jumping out of line and getting back in line with different codes. Probably might have raised a red flag somewhere along that path there. So let me add 2 more heat to Breck there. No one was killed and no hyperspace lanes were damaged. Great. Your wanted level is not wanted yet. Okay. Who wants to roll entangle? Let's see. Who wants to roll entanglements?
Sure, I can roll.
Go for it.
Oh,
Roll it. Here we go. Where'd it go?
it's that fortune die.
Fortune of 5. Cooperation. All right. So I'll think about this a little bit as we go through here and then bring it in. A faction you have +2 or +3 status with asks for a favor. I don't know if that. I don't think you have anybody, right?
Yeah. If we don't, then just nothing happens.
Okay. Easy peasy. All right. So now we get over to the downtime activities. So Richard, I don't know if you've read this section of the rules, but there are, what is it, eight opportunities on downtime. Acquire an asset, which is if there's something specific you guys need or for your ship or something, that would fall into that. Craft, you could build some sort of new device or something. Indulge your vice is pretty important for relieving stress. Lay low helps you reduce heat. You could start a long-term project if that could be anything from, creating a new computer system to building a robot to, creating fake aliases to whatever it is you want that would just take a little bit of time. That probably is where Rowan Raven's family project falls under. You can recover if you've been hurt, you can repair your ship, and you can train. So we will start up here with Brian. Do you have an idea for your first downtime activity?
Well, I can get the ship repaired unless somebody else is planning on doing that. Somebody's got to do it.
Okay. You want to spend your guys' last cred?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Do you want to have a scene around this or just say that you hire some mechanics and get it done?
Fine either way, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine to not do scenes too during downtime. It's just if there's an opportunity to bring in new NPCs or complicate your lives further, let's
I
add a little color.
don't have any specific ideas. We can just...
Okay, so we will repair the ship. Oh, it's already done. Thank you. All right, Richard.
Well, I know what I'm doing. First of all, we're going to hit the bars, the endless bars extended, and as my long-term project, I'm going to start looking up where my sister is. She was here a few years ago, definitely. I almost certainly remember that.
Okay, which one do you want to do first?
Well, I was hoping I could combine them both, but
into one.
Bars first. And I'm hoping that bars would be a good place to start for my sister, even though, probably aren't.
Okay. Why don't we do your role right now, and then we'll come back and do a scene for your long-term project.
Sure.
All right. So, a vice roll is like a resistance roll in reverse. Rather than gaining stress, you clear it.
Okay.
So make an attribute roll using your character's lowest attribute rating.
That'd be 1.
Be 1, yes.
There's also a button right there in under your vice line that's indulge a vice, and it will just automatically roll your lowest for you.
Oh. Okay. Bonus dice, none. That sounds fair. Unless I can put some effort into that.
Like, you can get bonus dice if you bring in a friend or crew contact. You can get it on any roll.
Oh, okay. Anybody else interested in hitting the bars? I know there's great bar.
Not someone else in the crew, like a contact or a friend.
All right. Then that's it then.
So that'd be Triv, your ship's mechanic. Or Mav, if you want to go drinking with Mav, but she's not a friend.
Yeah, she's not a friend, and she probably won't come. Well, I don't know. Triv would be good to catch up with. He's a mechanic. He may even be the guy who's fixing our ship.
Sounds good. Okay. So we'll give you 1 bonus die on that.
Or was fixing our ship up until this point. Okay. And that takes me to... too many windows open. A 5, apparently. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, 6 and a 3.
So you remove 6 stress.
6 stress. Nice.
That leaves you, I think, with 1.
It does.
Great. All right. Terry.
How do you remove stress?
Just click on the first bar and you should have 1 left.
Oh, yeah.
What would you like to do first, Terry?
I think I'd like to train.
Train. All right. What are you going to train?
Yeah. I think that Maria has different training than I do, and has knowledge of it, so
You're breaking up.
train
Breaking up again. What was that?
more. I don't know why. Usually it's fine, especially this time of night. Let me just turn both on. One second. See if this helps. Both of them on. All right. So I'm thinking that Maria would have different tune train. That like to train on tunes the more, if that's possible.
Okay.
Can you have above it too?
So you're going to mark 1 and resolve?
I know I have to resolve, yeah.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Cardigan.
Yes, well, first off, I'm just wondering, like, if it's okay if we just declare, because I don't think Cardigan would have suggested Ashen Knives if we didn't know them.
Okay.
I think probably it's Maelstrom instead, is probably who Cardigan suggests.
Okay. The Maelstrom. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Cardigan is going to look through the various. I mean, this is injury, so let's be fair. They're probably not a great selection here of colorful clothing. But any planet, Cardigan will find the most colorful clothes they can on it.
Are you hitting up thrift shops, or are you hitting up like posh designer places? Where does Cardigan shop?
We have no money. I have 0 stash. I am hitting up thrift shops right now.
Okay.
Maybe once I have 4 stash, I will hit up the posh stores. But
okay. I assume you're indulging your vice here.
Yeah.
All right. You want to give me a roll?
Oh yeah, that is exactly what I needed.
Perfect. All right. All right. Ro, back to you. Oh, wait 1 second. Cardigan, what did you buy?
Oh, I bought a very fanciful set of rainbow rain gear.
Rainbow rain gear. For specifically use on Idri, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
rainbow gear.
Sometimes, you know, like, just because you're a laborer on like a toxic industry world doesn't mean you don't want to be like colorful.
I'm sure they have all sorts of prints here. That's fantastic. I'm just going to picture my kids' rainbow slip and slide outside, and that's what Cardigan now looks like.
Yeah.
So, Yeah,
Exactly.
little cloud umbrella over you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Ro.
I will train.
Train. Okay. What are you gonna train?
Guess we haven't upgraded prowess, so we'll do that.
Tell me what this looks like.
Prowess training. I guess it is just. Let's see, is it anything beyond just like working out and physical training? Maybe. I mean,
could be target practice after having pull your pistol out.
Yeah, since we actually pulled my pistol out, I figured it might not be a bad idea to know how to use it. Maybe some VR goggle target practice.
Excellent. All right. Are you also working on some like cool like pull your gun out of your holster moves? Or you?
Oh yeah, I mean you got to look cool while you're shooting your bastard.
All right. Cool. Excellent. Candyman, you are in the bars.
Yeah, look, we're gonna start at that really nice bar that I remember so well. The one where you have to sip your drinks through a chemical filter straw.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start there, and I'll there was that, I'm sure that someone here will remember my sister, absolutely, because we came here once, so all those years ago when we were just young, and sitting out in the guilds. So I'm gonna start asking around. Hey, bartender, do you remember me?
Oh, who could forget your ugly face? You're what are you? Popsicle or something was your name? I can't remember.
Yeah, totally that. Candyman, yeah. Oh, nice to see you.
Right.
Yeah, look, you don't happen to, you remember I was...
Triv, what are you doing hanging out with this guy, man? You can do better, Triv. I'm starting to like you. You're coming in here. You're a regular. You did good work on that little project I had for you. And now you're hanging out with this. Oh.
Hey, we've been tight since training, I've known Triv since we were like, 12. Hey, thinking about Triv, you don't know where my sister is, do you? You didn't marry her, did you?
No, I asked.
Thanks. Yeah, I know.
She turned me down. You remember that? I was broke up.
Vaguely?
I mean, I got over it. I mean,
yeah.
But no, I haven't seen Ophelia. She left a couple months ago. She got some promotion off-world.
Ah, really? A promotion? Yeah, what's she doing?
Well, I think it's time for you to make a roll. And we'll see how much you learn here. So for long-term project, I think this is going to be a... So what we'll do is we'll start a clock, and then you will make a roll, and depending on how well you roll, you'll mark sections off on that clock. So I think this is probably, I would just make a 4-stack clock here. And if you look down on your right-hand side of your character sheet, you'll see, if I can spell Ophelia right. I'll put Ophelia's name there.
Just clocks, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 segment. So why don't you go ahead and make a roll. This is probably, could maybe be study? Consort?
Study? Study sounds kind of relevant because that's kind of what I'm doing. Consort also works.
Consort also works, yeah.
And they're both equally good, so...
Yeah, I think consort. You gain access to resources, information, and people. Probably better.
Okay. Doesn't sound risky.
No, this would just be
controlled
fortune roll here, I think.
Oh, fortune roll. Yeah. That's even more easy.
So, but you have zero dice or 0 marks in consort.
Yep.
So you will take 2 dice and roll them and take the lowest result.
Okay.
Can you spend
will.
stress on a I think you can spend stress on a fortune roll if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not that stressed.
Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah.
It's generally like if it's a fortune roll where your character can like actually like take action.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we got away from Drexler. You know, stress is well off.
Yep.
Never likely to see them again.
All right.
Yeah. That's a 3 and a 4.
So you take the 3, so you will get 1 segment marked on your clock here.
Okay, well, I found out she went off world. Nice. Do you know where she went?
I think she had gotten a lead. Well, she got promoted, you know. Well, tell me first, real quick, Candyman. What kind of not posh job, but like I think she has like a respectable job. What is it? What does she do?
Oh, she's a project manager with
Okay.
one of the big with a spaceship design firm.
Ah, okay. Then
So there is a good chance that she in fact works for
For the hegemony,
the
possibly.
Starsmith Guild, who we
Yes.
stole our engine from.
Did you perhaps
That could be
sneak
what.
onto her like her tablet, laptop, whatever it was, and steal some codes to get that engine?
For, like,
Steal
her
is a
ID badge.
very ugly word.
She definitely
I
works.
was quite the loan.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ophelia works for the Starship Guild. Great.
Yeah. I don't foresee a problem with this.
Yep. So, yeah, he says, yeah, she got a big new job with the guild. They're having her project manage some new guided missile device or something like that. Supposed to be able to just lock onto pretty much anything and be unshakable. So they're really looking to her to make that happen.
Yeah. So it's nice when you find family doing well, isn't it, Triv?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wish she was not working for them.
Yeah, me too, you know. Like, there's a, you know, problem is, you know, the whole Starship Guild thing, you know, the Starsmiths, you know, they just have rob me written all over them.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a way to look at it, Candyman. But the trick here is that it's kind of top secret. You know, she wouldn't tell me where she was going.
That's all right. There's no great urgency.
Yeah, but you know what? She did have a boyfriend who.
Really?
Yeah, he was kind of an upstanding guy, but worked over in a ship shop on the other side of town. I think his name was what was his name here? I think it was like Francis or something like that.
Francis. Dear Lord, she's gone out with a Francis?
Yeah, well, he's a nice guy. I think he goes
Surely
by
she could do
Greg
better than that.
like that, but you know,
Oh, it's so sad.
he might have an in for you.
Yeah, we had good days, you know. We had, you know, you, me, her. They were good times, you know. And now she's going out with a Francis.
Well, you know, I got an uncle named Francis. Come on, no, it's not.
Yeah, but your Uncle Francis was cool.
Well, this guy's not too bad. He works on ships. He's got some mean tattoos.
Yeah, don't try to make me like him.
Be careful. He's twice as big as you are.
Yeah, you
He's
know,
kind of
he's
a
not a pilot, though.
meathead, but you know, I think she after all the complicated work she was doing, she just, you know, needed.
She dumped him, huh?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
I haven't talked to him lately since she left. Really, she stopped coming around here.
all right. Yeah. Anyway, thanks. Yeah, have another beer.
Thanks. All right. Terry, headliner, what's the second action here?
I'd like to start to build a long-term project.
Okay.
Friends with Candyman.
Friends with Candyman?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your goal here?
It makes it easier when we're not near other friends to be able to still indulge our stuff with.
Okay.
Or at least for me.
Okay.
And also I'd like to be able to, I've heard stuff about ancient pathways around the gates.
Okay.
So that I might be able to feel out and give him some backways to other systems.
Okay.
I'd like to try and show him how to pick it up. If
Okay.
he's interested.
All right. So let's have the scene. Where do you meet Candyman at?
Well, I think I'll wait until he comes back to the ship, because I
Okay.
won't know where he's gone at this point.
Then wait a few more hours until he wakes up from passing out.
Yeah.
I think you're like waiting at the. You like see him come up, and he just like, huh?
I just shake my head and say, "Okay, morning."
All right. So is this in the galley over several pots of coffee in the morning or something? Or?
Yeah. I just kind of start talking to him. I show him some texts that I've found that talk about it. And
Hey, mate. What you got there, man?
Oh, well, I've been reading these books, and we ran into all those problems at the gate with the pirates coming after us. And I've been reading about it. Sometimes it's possible. Now it's probably pretty risky to do it. But sometimes it's possible to bypass the gates.
Hey, yeah, look, I've heard about that. It's just kind of legend stuff, though, man. You got what?
This book seems to explain a bit about it.
Yeah.
You got to feel for it, though.
All right. Yeah. Look. We'll lay out a chart.
Yeah.
Show me, man.
Yeah. I lie it down on the book. We lay out a bigger chart, and I show you a couple of spots where there's possibly one. Just based off of star systems that have been described in the books and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's good work. Yeah, that's really clever. Look, bring a stool up, and we'll go and sniff one of these out on the way out, if there's anything nearby.
Yeah. No, we can try.
Yeah, good work. Anything that can get us in and out without a whole lot of grief is fine by me.
All right. What do you want to call this clock here?
Like smuggler's route.
Ooh,
yeah,
smuggler's route.
That sounds good. Yep.
All right. That sounds like a 6-segment clock, but why don't you go ahead and give me a roll, a fortune roll. I think this would probably be study. So you would have 2 dice.
Okay, I hit it, but nothing popped up for me. So, try it again here. There we go.
It's not popping up. There it is. Okay. 6 and 3. Nice. Okay, so you get 3 segments marked off that. Wow, nice work. All right. There we go. Okay, cardigan. Last activity here.
Well, actually, I do get one free
that's right.
activity since I am a speaker. Yeah, and I was just thinking about. So, yeah, I think first off, I am going to go meet with some people in the Ashen Knives, because I need to see someone about like I'm trying to acquire an asset to actually get the someone who can break the cuffs off of the good Dr. Manda here.
All right. Let me see here.
Because I can study and I can rig.
Yeah.
I don't hack.
Okay. Fair enough.
The doctor could take them off, you know. And you could sew our hands back on afterwards.
I'm not sure that's exactly what Cardigan's going for here, but okay.
I do have some hack skill, but it sounds like the problem is that these are very high tier piece of equipment that we're not going to be that effective against. You're just trying to acquire something to make it easier. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Or you're acquiring like the actual service of.
Yeah, I figured since we're planet side, might as well try that way.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So, like, actually, I guess I should ask, like, if I was to do this, like, would I actually have a shot of, like, rolling a good enough value to, like, break Dr. Manda out, or should I be just pursuing a different route here?
Yeah, I mean the Ashen Knives are tier 3, and the Isotrism Max Secure is also tier 3, so they definitely would have access to the people to do this. I think that's going to be what would come out of the roll would be kind of a question of price and indebtedness type of thing.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I can take on some debt.
Okay.
Or maybe a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, we could go that route. So you're going after a contractor here. Yeah, so I think let me see if this makes sense to you. I think I would have you roll for crew quality.
Okay.
Which is 1. And then depending on your roll, I would either add or subtract that from 3, which is the Ashen Knives tier, and that's how much it would cost you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like if you got quality +1, you would get effectively a tier 2 roll, and so we would subtract 2 from 3, so it would only cost you 1 cred to get this from them.
Although it would be actually it would be going to ship's debt, so I guess it depends if people are okay with us going into debt.
Yeah, or we could have it be your own debt in this case, and they would just have like something that you would have to repay out of your own. I mean, I know there's not really a mechanism for that, but we can just, if you don't want to put it on the whole ship.
Okay, well, I'll just give this a roll and we'll see.
Okay.
And actually, I think we're at 0 tier for crew.
You start at 0 or you start at 1? You start at 0?
Start at 0.
Okay, 0. That's what it was. That I remember that from Blades, but I thought when I was reading through this, it was it warm up. Yep. Okay. So what did you get here?
A 2.
Ugh. Okay, so -1. so 3, 4 cred is what it would cost.
Oh. I think that as much as Cardigan wants to help Dr. Manda right now, we're going to need to find a different route here.
Okay.
Because I think that taking on 4 debt to the Ashen Knives, well, the rest of the crew doesn't need to know that it's the Ashen Knives.
That is so true.
They don't need to know. And let's play this out a little bit.
I guess out of character, I want to make certain that this is something that the rest of the group is okay with happening. If they're cool with this, I'd be fine doing it. But I don't want to like take on 4 debt without the kind of out of character like fictional okay here.
Well, what's the downside?
You know, highly trained assassins that you owe debt to. Your imagination can play with that all you want.
Yeah. Can we do a work? Can we work for them?
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but yeah, a job would be better.
My character would not be particularly pleased, but I'm all for it.
Okay, cool. Then I just wanted to double check. Yeah.
Consequences are for later.
Yep. Cardigan has on their pleased to meet you mask.
And the rainbow jumpsuit?
Yep.
Okay. Where do you meet this person?
Oh, I go into one of their front businesses, I think. It's probably a fight club. Because to be fair, like, if you're going to have assassins, like, that's a front business to have, right? A place for people, a place for blood sports.
Sure, yeah, that doesn't, like, okay. Yeah.
Like, because they're assassins, but they also, like, deal in vice and all that as well. Like,
yeah.
they've branched out.
Sure. I think that this is like it's blood sport in here, but this isn't like a cage. This isn't like a dirty blood sport place. This is like a posh blood sport establishment, and this is where people who have money, who don't want to mix with the rabble, but still want to get their kicks watching people hurt each other, go. And so I think that there are. It's kind of a cylinder, like almost a dome, but they've reworked the gravity so that the seats, like even if you're sitting in the seats at the top, you can still like sit horizontal and look straight down into the pit. And I think you get led up to one of those, and the vertigo, well, if you cared about vertigo as a biological organism would, it might be a little unsettling, but I don't think it probably bothers Cardigan at all. Your servos just reorient yourself. You sit down, and sitting kind of next to you, staring down, kind of looks over real quick and is just like, yeah, 1 second, 1 second. Oh, did you see that? Oh, man. Oh, that guy's not getting up. Oh. There's a woman dressed in kind of a skin-tight red dress, also wearing a mask. And her mask is just a beautiful, smiling, angelic blonde cherub face. It's really kind of weird in this setting. And she turns to you and says, "Well, Cardigan." Or do you use Cardigan, or do you use the other acronym that you were using last time? What was it?
No, I use Cardigan this time.
Cardigan, I heard you're in the looking for some services of removing a bit of hegemony property from a.
Oh yeah,
live.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
I just realized, because we do actually have someone. She's probably Arlux. There's an Ashenives Pasha who we do have in our contacts.
Okay.
We're just not friends with them.
Great. Arlux. But yes, as I was saying, I heard that you're in the market for some services to remove a piece of hardware.
Yes, it is quite troublesome.
Do you know the locking mechanism?
Now, do I?
You saw the major put his thumbprint on the other three, and
right.
He told you that this one was above his pay grade.
It is some sort of biometric thumbprint device. The owner was not present to part with the necessary key.
Oh well, that's yes, unfortunate. And was this a legitimate device, say maybe manufactured by the hegemony or the makers or somebody, or was this kind of a more cryptic? Hopefully, it's not an Ur type device or something.
Arlux, as you know, that I am a entirely law-abiding where did I have that? Card Gen 13 Android. I would never engage in. I would never be engaged in illegitimate in removing legitimately placed locking devices.
Oh, Cardigan, you misunderstand. I would never insinuate that such an honest device such as yourself would be involved in such of that. I'm sure it's against your programming, by all means. What I was just simply asking is the level of difficulty to remove this device. If it's an Urlock, I'm going to really need to procure some very high sophisticated services. But if it's just, run-of-the-street shackles, well.
Oh, yeah. And I think, we did roll really poorly here. I think she manages to talk me up into thinking it's an Urlock. Like, you're really going to have to pay us extra to get this.
This is going to be quite costly, Cardigan. I must say. Do you have cred available? I would need 2 cred up front, or some sort of collateral. Sometimes people like to give us the lien for their ship or something of that matter.
So, if I were to say mark luxury item and leave it marked until we resolve this debt, would that count as the 2 down? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I pull out that Sunwine, which I totally had this whole time. The guy didn't believe me.
Excellent. Okay. Fantastic.
It's a really good year, too. It's worth 2 whole cred. That's how good it is.
She takes it and looks at it. Looks at the year. Ooh, yeah, this'll do. What about the other 2 cred? We would need that up front, or we would need to make some sort of arrangement, or not up front, sorry. We'll need that at time of service delivery, or we'd need to make some sort of arrangement for payment. Oops, you're muted.
Perhaps there is some sort of work for pay that we could arrange here.
I do have a delivery that needs to be done. It's very time sensitive and could get you in a lot of trouble. I just want to be upfront about that. We just need this package to be delivered to a certain someone's door and left on the doorstep, and then that's all. We'd be willing to actually pay you even more than the 2 cred. We'll pay you an additional 4 cred on top of that.
Well, I'm certain that the cred payment will more than will be more than enough to convince my compatriots my compatriots of this. Yes, I will suggest this course of action to them and let you know as soon as I have convinced them.
Fantastic. The job will expire in 13 hours, so time is of the essence.
Yeah. Cardigan comes back. Congratulations, I found a job paying 4 cred.
Great work.
And
let's go out and celebrate.
All right. So you guys have a job. Cardigan, you have one more downtime action. Do you we'll just do that off screen real quick.
Yeah, sure. I think that Cardigan goes and has a chat with a bounty has a chat with like an automated bounty administrative device we used to date a while back. You know, for old time's sake, I convinced them to you know, maybe like clear out some of these bounties that might be related to you know, anything that might have happened over in the Breck system.
Surely you share protocols.
Excellent. I will reduce your heat in the Breck system by 2. Okay, excellent. All right, we went a little bit past when I was hoping to take a second break. Do folks want to play like another 10 minutes and then do Stars and Wishes, or do you want to take a quick break and then come back and do Stars and Wishes?
I'm okay with playing.
Yeah, I don't know how much we're gonna get done in 10 minutes, but we can give it a shot.
Just gonna kind of set up
Sure.
the session, yeah. Great. So you have all rendezvoused back aboard your ship, which still needs a name, the Cerberus. I guess it's a R-29 Firebrand type patrol craft, so maybe the Cerberus is the name of the ship. We can just go with that. You've met back aboard the Cerberus. Your contact, Arlux, arrives, Cardigan, and meets you outside the ship. And floating next to them is a container about a meter long, about 12 inches tall, and 12 inches wide. And it's kind of being suspended on a floating platform of force there. And she says, "Thank you for agreeing to do this job, Cardigan. We need you to travel outside the system quickly within the next 10 hours to the planet of Mem and deliver this to the following coordinates. You will find a laboratory there, and inside the laboratory you will be able to drop this off at the door of Dr. Gorland. Dr. Gorland is expecting this package. Definitely do not let the hegemony know that you are carrying this device. And please go quickly. This is very, very important." Do you want to say anything back, or just float the device on in?
Yep. I am certain that my compatriots are more than capable of carrying out the task.
Was that 10 hours we had to do the entire job? Or was it 10 hours we have to...
I think we have to leave within that amount of time.
Yeah, I think they leave the system, I think is what she said.
I mean, that MEM is two
It's 2 jumps,
away,
yeah.
So it's going to take a while to get there, yeah. But so it's just we have to leave. So.
Yeah. Well, we're paid up. We're not holding for anything.
Should we expect any particular resistance outside of the hegemony when we make this delivery?
I would say that it would be best if you could make contact with Dr. Gorland quietly and not involve too many of the officials at the laboratory as well. They are working on some top secret work for us, and we would like it kept that way. Yes, and please, with all haste possible. So, Candyman, you're getting the ship ready.
Yep.
Tell me a reading that gets funky and kind of weird as Cardigan brings this device on board, either from your radar, your comms, or something that, or a ship, maybe the engines. What is something on the ship that kind of starts giving you funky readings when this comes up?
Looks like we have a radiation leak again. Yeah, it's usually a sign of an unshielded, jump drive manifold. So I'll go down there and have a little look at it. Not that I have any mechanical skills whatsoever, but I'll wrap another T-shirt around it.
Great. Ro, we'll go to Headliner first. Headliner, when the device comes on board, you feel a disturbance in the way. Tell me what that feels like. And like, is it a good feeling? Is it a bad feeling? Is it something reaching out to you? Is it like scary? I don't know. What does it feel like?
I think it seems to be a disturbing feeling. In that it doesn't seem balanced in the same way as my artifact.
Okay. Does it cause any physical symptoms for you, since you're kind of attuned in this way to have something unbalanced around?
Yeah, I think I have. I start to develop migraines.
Okay. And what about Maria Forte?
She's more attuned, and also more disciplined. So I don't think it affects her in the same way. I think she would normally get the migraines like I am, but her extra training, she's able to stave them off a little better.
Ro, you have a stockpile of medicine on board. You're kind of going through it, and you notice that a certain kind of medicine that's pretty important for healing wounds or something. You can tell me what it is. But you notice that it's just that kind. All the other kinds are fine, but all the vials of that have broken and become corroded. What kind of medicine is it for, and what's it used for?
I think it's like it does help wounds heal, but it's more than that. It's like a general like disinfectant. Prevents. It's like, there's so much more out here in the galaxy than just like bacteria and viruses, right? There's like a million planets worth of pathogens, and so this thing is more general than like an antibiotic. That's primitive stuff, right? This is prevents against infection, well beyond anything, like that.
Is this something that you have to take regularly?
No, I mean, if you're injured or something, it would be a thing that.
Didn't know if this was something
or if you're specifically, get infected with something, or it's mostly used when you don't. If someone has a specific disease, you treat that specific disease. This is like a general thing. Like, the reason it's more powerful is that it works against like almost anything.
All right. Cool. Sounds like it's going to be expensive to replace. Great. Yeah. All right, cool. So you guys line up the ship to make your first jump, and as the gate opens and you kind of start going into that freeze between shooting through the stars and when the ship is all just kind of collecting there, you all kind of, usually you don't have any feelings during that time, because it's kind of like a suspended time and space, where your bodies are kind of incorporeal almost. But this time, as you go through there, you feel yourself stretched and compressed, and so it's not pleasant. And you also get the sense that something bigger than all of you have ever experienced, some sort of massive consciousness, directs its attention to your ship as you go through this way gate. And then you're shooting through the stars like normal, and we'll pick up when you come out on the other side. Cool. I'm going to end the broadcast, and then we can do stars and wishes.